I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about tips for Thanksgiving. Before we start, I think we should mention the new backdrop that I have.
Isn't it lovely?
It's much larger, and there's a reason that I decided to expand on that, and that is we will have a new coach on board in the future. We will probably be introducing her in the next, month or so. Mm-hmm. And just so you guys get to meet her, but she has been training with us for quite some time already. And it's going to be some time before she actually does coaching, but we want you guys to get to know her.
And to understand that sometimes she will be with us.
That's right.
Yes. Observing and learning.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so we got a new backdrop here. As you can see, it's much larger, and that's because we'll have her in videos occasionally too, all three of us. So look forward to that in the future. I have a new program too, so I'll have new editing software. So hopefully the channel will look and sound a little bit better with the new backdrop.
Okay, but we're going to continue doing what we're doing. We don't want to make anyone anxious.
Absolutely. The changes will be slow, little changes at a time, but they'll be good, and you guys will see that we put a lot of thought into everything that we do.
Okay.
But, Thanksgiving is such a hard time because it brings up so many memories.
Right.
Your family, your partner, your ex's family, all those people that you cared about. It's very, very difficult. And I'll share a little bit about that for myself after, you share your tips that you have, because it's the anniversary of my mom passing away. My mom passed away just a couple of days before Thanksgiving.
That's right.
6 years ago, but it still comes up.
Of course.
And so I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, but Margaret has some really good tips for you guys to help you survive a difficult day.
If you end up spending Thanksgiving with a family you wouldn't particularly choose, with your partner's family if you're with someone, with your in-laws if you're married, with a good friend's family if that's who you spend the day with. But these are tips on how to handle the day in a setting that might not be your first choice.
Yeah.
Okay? So the actual article says, and we wish you the best of luck. All right. When in doubt, talk about your work. If you have to travel and stay overnight, really lean into how busy you're going to be. Mention to anyone in passing that work is about to get really crazy. Mm-hmm. Keep in mind, the more obtuse your job actually is, the better. The less they understand the business you do, they won't ask any questions. Mm-hmm. You work in finance, programming, law, great. You can get away with this. If you work at a summer camp, you're screwed though. Do your best to mitigate when you leave, and sooner when you leave is the idea. And do not take off extra time at work to travel. Okay. You can also fib by saying you have a big project coming up that you'll have to leave to get to.
So are these excuses to get out of the Thanksgiving dinner?
Exactly. Yeah, and if you can't, what to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, this requires you to have the kind of job where you can say the words big project without getting a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Got the key here? You are limiting the amount of time you have to spend with them.
And that includes upcoming events that don't sound so fun to go to.
That's right. And thus, the amount of time you even have to worry about keeping your sanity. Mm-hmm. Okay? They're not the worst you ever met, probably, but they're not easy. All right. It doesn't hurt to be a suck-up. Always good advice. Specifically, offer to help clean or cook.
Oh.
Take out the garbage. As far as the people are concerned, this can be your only and defining character trait. Helps so much that it makes people uncomfortable. You'll rack up so many brownie points that you could light their house up for Christmas, and they'd still like you.
And you know what? Is by helping, you're not having to have so many awkward conversations.
Exactly.
You're busy. You're continually busy. You're taking out the trash for 5 minutes.
These are great.
You're cleaning up the floor
Yes.
for 20 minutes.
Yep. These are great tips if you ask me. Cash in your gold stars later. Avoid contributing to the political conversation.
Yeah. And I made a comment on one of the videos, I think maybe the video from a couple days ago. Instead of talking about politics, why don't you talk about attachment theory?
I think that would be much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's probably behind a lot of the problems in politics.
Exactly.
Yes.
And at the Thanksgiving table.
Right. Avoid contributing to the politics conversation and other such incendiary topics. In fact, avoid talking as much as you can. Nod, smile, and fill your mouth with mashed potatoes so that when you're asked a question, you can point to your mouth and shrug and say, I'd love to respond to your query, Great Aunt Ruth, but I can't speak. I've got mounds of mashed potatoes in my mouth. Okay. Ask them lots of questions about themselves. Now that's always good advice too. Steer the conversation toward everyone else.
Yeah.
Ask them about themselves as much as possible. Perfect topics include, but are not limited to, kids, grandkids, and how great things were when they were growing up.
Do you even remember that far back?
No, I don't. Keep them talking, leaving you plenty of time and space to zone out and think about being in a galaxy far, far away.
That sounds good to me.
Love football, even if you don't actually love football. Maybe you already love football. If you do, fantastic. And if you don't, just fake it. Watch the big game and ignore everyone. This is socially acceptable. Post-Thanksgiving meal, grab some snacks and a few drinks of your choice so you don't have to get up and run into anyone. Park yourself in front of the TV and just pretend to love football so much that no one will want to ruin your zone. To be safe, look up which teams are playing and maybe a few names of the players in the Thanksgiving game and just commit to one. Scream on occasion, make some grunting noises, and just go with the flow. Okay? Embark on Black Friday shopping.
That's a good one.
Black Friday is all about commitment.
That's actually a perfect excuse to get out of there.
Isn't it?
I have to go because we have to line up at the store.
Oh, that's right.
We're going to get out of here because we're going to be...
my eye on this item for
Yeah,
months
and we're going to
now,
line up. My
oh,
friends are going to meet, and then you get out of there.
Black Friday is all about commitment. Crowds are disastrous. You will inevitably be pushed and finding the best deals.
That's how they should market Black Friday.
Yeah, on a long line at 2:30 a.m. But get into it, man. Show up with a bunch of crumpled mailers and printouts of bargains. And then excuse yourself. And if somebody you really like is there, take them with you and go off to shop. And while you're at it, consider something for the folks who've had you for dinner. Consider getting them something while you're at the mall. Okay?
But I like Black Friday as an excuse to leave. Boy,
that wonderful?
That's how they should market Black Friday.
That's right.
Getting you out of Thanksgiving trouble.
Yes, and when in doubt about the conversation, fill your mouth with mashed potatoes. Very good advice, I think.
Those are some funny tips, and they could be really helpful too.
Yes.
But it isn't funny how hard a holiday it really can be. Because there's a good chance that last year you were with your ex and their family, or they were with you and your family.
Yes.
And that's really hard. It takes you back to just keep, obsessing over last year and what your ex is doing this year and if they're thinking about you or who they're with. And it's just a really difficult time.
And well-meaning relatives will say, oh, where's Joe?
Yeah.
Where's Joan? Where's Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have to decide what you're going to say.
Yeah, so you might want to plan for that. That's a really good tip. Think about what you're going to tell your family when they ask where your ex is and how little or how much you want to tell them.
Right.
Because you probably have a lot of relatives there that you don't want to get into all that business with.
Right. So you need to give some sort of a line, good to rehearse it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Thanksgiving also makes you think about people that you love and don't have in your life anymore, not just an ex.
No.
Your family, you have parents, other friends that may have passed away.
Yes.
It could be a lot of things or moved away. it's really tough. And I'll tell you, my mom passed away, I think 2 days before Thanksgiving, maybe 3 days before Thanksgiving. And that was 6 years ago, and which is just this past weekend. And it was really tough. I felt sad. I felt it. I felt it in my body. And it was just, I knew it was coming. I knew the day she passed away. And I kind of just decided to kind of embrace it this year and think about it and just, think about how hard it was and how sad I was because, I have 2 small children and my daughter is just a little bit over 1.5 years now. So she never got to meet my mom. And my son was only 2 months old, not even, when she passed away.
Yeah.
And so that's really hard because Thanksgiving for me is tied to her passing because there were a lot of friends and family that she had that were out of town and didn't find out that she passed away until after the funeral.
Right.
She was a teacher.
Yeah.
So all of her friends had been on Thanksgiving break. A lot of them were shocked to come back and were contacting me. Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't hear until...
Yeah.
And I was out of town, so it was really tough.
Now, Craig, you're a well-functioning person.
Yeah.
And you took time to embrace and process your feelings.
I did.
Congratulations to you.
Yeah.
And we want to encourage everyone, men, women, everybody, that grief is a healthy process. We all have to do it. And how wonderful to hear, I embraced it, I accepted it, I worked with it.
Yep.
That's what you do.
Yeah, the more you think about it and just kind of allow yourself to feel it,
right,
the better off you are.
That's right.
Because if you don't think about it, it's going to come out in other ways, like starting arguments with people.
You're going to be grumpy, right?
You're going to be exhausted.
Yep.
You're going to be tired. You're going to feel a lot of different things.
Expressed feelings are easier to deal with than unsaid ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So expect that.
Right.
Expect that you might feel this overwhelming sadness at Thanksgiving at certain times, maybe even when you're with your whole family in a group with everybody.
Sure.
Take yourself to the bathroom for a couple minutes to excuse yourself. Go for a small walk.
Yeah.
And,
do whatever you have to do.
Go to that Black Friday sale and buy yourself something nice.
And the other thing is, on television, there's everybody's family having a wonderful time.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
That is true.
So, do whatever you have to do. Use whatever tips you have to get yourself through a difficult day. And just realize that it's normal and it's just something that you're going to have to process and feel. And just say, okay, I know this is probably going to be a tougher day for me today, but I'll get through it and I'll be better tomorrow.
And if you really don't know what to do, remember to put a lot of mashed potatoes in your mouth so you don't have to say anything.
That works too.
Yes.
All right. So we hope you all have a good Thanksgiving.
Yes, we do.
Regardless, going through a difficult time. Margaret and I are very thankful to all you supporters.
Yes, we are.
And people that subscribe to us, like the channel, share us with friends and family, do calls with us. We, appreciate all of that. So thank you so much. If you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
Please sign up if you feel like I can be helpful.
That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon.